Fans. There we go. There we go.
Does it go? Did it go down?
Hold on. Okay, it just wasn't a lot.
Okay.
How about that?
Now, if it goes down, you know it's right here on the side.
What you do, you just pull it.
Just pull it up. I was trying to make
Okay.
you a soft chair.
This is good. It's
Okay,
good.
all right.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for your attendance today, and thank you for your patience in waiting for us. We appreciate you. Test. Okay, I need to use my teacher voice. I still got it. All right, at this time, please, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Shay, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, we'll establish attendance. Ms. Tisworth? Ms. Williams?
Present.
Ms. Lane?
Here.
Ms. Veronica Morreal?
Present.
We have Dr. Yvonne Elliott,
Present.
Ms. Jackson, and Madam Chair, Dr. Nicole.
Present. Thank you. Ms. Morrow-Real, our Vice President, would you please read our norms?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and these are the Board of Education norms. Number one, we strive to be a cohesive team. We pause to hear all voices after someone speaks, consider all opinions, and assume positive intentions. Under number two, collective agreement, collective voices to reach decisions, honor and respect the work of the board, honoring and supporting the board decisions at all times. Under number three, be prepared for meeting. The board will review the packet details and submit questions within the established time frame. Members of the board will arrive 5 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Administration will release board packets to the Riverview Gardens Board of Education within the identified time frame. And under number four, not allow outside entities to dictate board actions. Riverview Gardens Board of Education decisions will be made based on facts, policies, and procedures, not individual opinions or requests. And number two, educate and encourage the community to follow proper protocols for voicing concerns. And that's policy KC under community engagement. Those are our board norms.
Thank you, Ms. Morrow-Real. At this time, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? It has been motioned by Dr. Yvonne Elliott
Madam Chair, I second.
and second by Ms. Morrow-Real to approve the agenda as presented. At this time, we will call for Riverview Excellence.
As we start to present it tonight, you have 3 minutes tops because we have our DESE public hearing that will start at 6:30, 3 minutes tops. Mr. Sistrunk, you are on the clock. One.
Am I on the mic? All right. Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Patton, colleagues, community, DESE, scholars. For today, we have two things that we want to acknowledge for Riverview Excellence. First, we want to give a hearty round of applause to the Riverview Garden School District Board of Education because March is Board Recognition Month. And so we have a special video, but first let's give our school board a round of applause. Thank you all. You do have certificates there at your table. And Tim, if you can play the board recognition video. And Board Recognition Month, this is in the state of Missouri, and it's just something to honor our school boards who are in charge of governance for all school district activities.
We want to say thank you for everything you
so we want to thank our board members, Dr. Nikita Coleman, Veronica Morrow-Real, Wanda Lane, Dr. Miranda Avant Elliott, Ms. Jacqueline Jackson, Sharon Titsworth, Ms. Monica Williams, and Shay Fields, who is the board secretary. Thank you to you all.
Thank you.
And second, for Riverview Excellence, we have our Teachers of the Year. And so we have a video for them. Let me name them off, and if you can stand when I say your name. These are the building-wide Teachers of the Year, and then our video will show who's the district-wide Teacher of the Year. I'm going to go by... Hold on 1 second. Thank you. He's ready. He's ready to go. He said, I'm 3 minutes up. I'm sorry. All right. From Central Middle School, Ms. Pamela Jenkins. From Danforth Elementary School, Ms. Kate File. From Gibson Elementary, Ms. Karen Wright. From Glasgow Elementary, Ms. Madeline McKissick. From Highland, Ms. Caitlin Ney. From Coke, Ms. Demetris Butler Richards. From LeMaster, Ms. Phyllis Katz. From Lewis and Clark, Ms. Tara Sweets. From Meadows, Ms. Chini Estrande. From Michelle Obama, Ms. Tuesday Powell. At Moline Elementary, Mr. Robert Odneal. From Riverview Gardens High School, Mr. Craig Nowden. And from Westview Middle, Ms. Evelyn Haynes Levitt. You can roll the video. Caught him slipping, he got up. Hit the play button at the bottom. Congratulations to Madeline McKissick of Glasgow Elementary School. And if we can have our teachers come up, do we have time for the picture, Dr. Patton?
Sure.
All the teachers, if you can come up and take a quick photo with the board, and then we will.
Come on, teachers, start moving. Come on, come on, come on. Everybody that was nominated. Come on
All
up.
the school-wide winners, come on up to the front. And the Teachers of the Year, they will have a celebration in May coming up where they have a dinner and we'll recognize them more formally. But we do want to congratulate you all and thank you for your remarkable achievements.
All right, thank you very much. Where are we here?
It's on here. It's on here. It's just, yeah.
All right, and also, we have one more item for Riverview Excellence. Our board members are required to undergo an hour of board refresher training every year, and so Ms. Monica Williams has satisfactorily completed the legally required 1 hour of 2024-2025 board member refresher training from the Missouri School Boards Association. And so we want to recognize Ms. Williams for completing that training. And that completes Riverview Excellence.
Thank you so much. At this time, Shay, do we have any public comment?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay, thank you. Are there any announcements from the board or any board remarks?
Just quickly. We know that we have an upcoming election, and some of the clergy are having a candidate forum for the city. So if you happen to know some city residents, they will be on March the 31st at Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Nance Church, if they want to come out and get additional information about the candidates.
And I'd like to thank everyone for your board appreciation. That is so special. It's so good to be appreciated, and we want you to know that it's all for you and for our scholars, and that we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of our Teachers of the Year. You are awesome, because Dr. Patton can do a lot of things, but I don't think that she can teach all of those classes, so. So, and I'm retired, so I cannot either. So we appreciate you and thank you very much. At this time, a motion to approve the items for the consent agenda.
So moved.
It's been motioned by Dr. Ma Elliott. Second. And second by Ms. Williams to approve the items for the consent agenda. Thank you very much. We need to get the vote for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good, motion passes, thank you. Items for information. What happened to the superintendent?
As a reminder, we only have about a few minutes. So the first item up for information is the summary of the fund balance. Making this report is our interim CFO, Mr. Randall Charles, and this is in conjunction with policy DIAA fund balance. Mr. Charles?
Good evening. The summary fund balance report is a typical format that you see every month, so I won't go through all. You're familiar with the format. I will add just one piece of information. As we project to the end of the year, our end of the year fund balance in the operating fund should be roughly just under 20 million, which is about a 23% fund balance. Keep in mind, we started the year with a $31 million fund balance, which was roughly 37%. So we have spent down, but as you know, we are making adjustments, resizing the budget for next year, and I believe that's the next item on the agenda. So I will stop at the point and respond to any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. The next item up for information is the budget reduction phases 1 through 3. I am presenting this, and this again is in conjunction with policy DIAA, the fund balance. And this is information that I've shared with the public as well as our board. Dr. May has asked a couple of times to see the phases. We've been doing this in phases, so we have gotten through phase 1. We are in the middle of phase 2, and then we will move to phase 3. We will continue to look at areas where we can reduce our budget. We are working in collaboration with the RGNEA to look at our district insurance plan, implement centralized purchasing to improve efficiencies and cost control, and then look at reducing expenditures from a contracted level when you're talking about nurses, plumbing, HVAC, et cetera. So we will move into phase 3. We will bring recommendations back to the board after we gather this information. Are there any questions? Okay. That concludes our items for information. Moving into items for discussion, we have Prop S, Glasgow HVAC replacement. Making this presentation is Mr. Carl Scheid, Executive Director of Facilities and Food Services, and this is in conjunction with DJF Purchasing. Mr. Scheid.
Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Patton, colleagues, community, and representatives from DESE. Tonight I come before the board with an item for discussion for replacement of some HVAC equipment at Glasgow Elementary. Again, this will be funded by Prop S funds. We basically have some equipment that is no longer functional, needs to be replaced. With me tonight is Jeff Escott with Daikin TMI. He will go ahead and touch upon the highlights of the project in a very brief moment.
Stand on my tippy toes. Good evening, everybody. I will keep this brief. The summary for the Glasgow Elementary School HVAC project is the replacement of the gym rooftop system. The gym rooftop system, which has reached end of useful life and does need to be replaced due to obsolescence. Additionally, there's a classroom, room number 11, has a system as well that has reached the end of useful life. There's been a temporary heating and cooling system in there now for quite some time. So both of these projects will be presented collectively to the Ameren utility, and they will qualify for a Ameren utility rebate as part of that program. This work would be slated to be completed this summer, and full heating, cooling, and ventilation to be restored to that gymnasium space by the start of class for fall semester. I do have one quick update. We're in a building right now in Westview that the board approved last year for major HVAC renovations. I'm happy to announce that we have completed the renovations of all of the rooftop systems, 17 in total, and we have restored all of the fresh air requirements to the entire building, which is a pretty big accomplishment. So we appreciate the opportunity to participate in that. The space that we're in today was actually started up today, and as you can see, it is pretty comfortable. The last piece of news that I'll share with the board and the community, this project here at Westview has been formally approved for a $73,000 incentive by Ameren. That check will be presented to the school district at the completion of the project in the middle of August. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Any questions?
What is the, okay, I'll use my outside voice. What is the life expectancy for the new units that you're putting in now?
Great question. So the new unit that's proposed has a 20-year warranty on the heat exchanger. That's the critical component that has failed in the existing unit. The industry standard for that warranty is 10 years, so this is a very substantial warranty. You could expect this piece of equipment with proper maintenance to last as long as 25 years.
Thank you, Mr. Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Scheid. Thank you. Thank you.
There is an item on items for discussion, and it is district lobbyists. I'm going to ask that we table that discussion for a later meeting because we are so short on time, and I know that this will need discussion.
Madam Chair, I'll second.
It's been motioned by Dr. Von Elliott and second by Ms. Mara Real to table that discussion for the next meeting. Thank you. At this time, all in favor, I keep forgetting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. And at this time, we can move to adjourn. We would like to move to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been motioned by Ms. Mara Real and second by Dr. Von Elliott to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
At this time, we are moving into our DESE hearing. So we've closed the open session. We're moving into the DESE hearing. If you can pull up the PowerPoint, we can begin our meeting. All right, we have, so each year, because we are a provisionally accredited school district, first of all, welcome everybody. We are glad that you are here. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We each year have to have 2 DESE hearings. That is with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, because we are a provisionally accredited school district. I feel like I'm going out somewhere. So I'm going to introduce the Assistant Commissioner of Education, Mrs. Lisa Serrano. Is it Serrano or Serrano? Sereno. I had it wrong both times. So I will let her talk about why we are here, and then we'll move into our meeting. Give her a round of applause and welcome her.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. Am I good? Can you all hear me? All right, very good. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, let me add my thanks to Dr. Patton's to you all for joining us this evening. I'm glad to have the opportunity to listen in on tonight's discussion. I want to thank the Riverview Gardens School Board members and Superintendent Patton and her leadership team. Also, Dr. Gerald and the Westview Middle School for hosting us this evening. Very nice, thank you. Also, I'd like to recognize with me this evening from the department, our Commissioner of Education, Dr. Carla Esslinger. Stuart Smith, our Improvement and Accountability Manager. Shanika Williams, Charter Director. Lisa Hazel and Joel Holland, our area supervisors for the St. Louis region. Kelly Jones, Learning Services Deputy. Emily Manley, Chief of Staff. And Carrie Casey from the State Board of Education, board member. One of the reasons for this evening's meeting is because state law calls for it, and so here's the housekeeping portion of the evening. It's section 162.081 of the revised statutes of Missouri that requires, as Dr. Patton said, the department hold public hearings in districts that are or have been unaccredited as long as that district remains unaccredited or provisionally accredited. The statute calls out the purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity to bring you, the community members, together to identify resources that may be useful or even necessary to support the district as it prepares to return to its goal of full accreditation. The hearing is now open. We're live streaming and recording the meeting. And in just a few moments, we're going to hear from Superintendent Patton again with an update. Then we're going to move into small group discussions, and you'll at your tables, and then you'll have an opportunity to share out those discussions with the whole group. You'll hear from me again at 8 o'clock when I adjourn the hearing. But before we go into the program, I've asked our Commissioner of Education, Dr. Carla Esslinger, to say just a few words to you this evening. Before I hand her the mic, let me tell you just a little bit about her. She's a lifelong educator who started her career as an elementary school teacher. She's been a building principal, a superintendent, an assistant commissioner at DESE. She served as an education services contractor at the U.S. Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and she served also in our Missouri legislature, representing District 155 in the Missouri House, and most recently, District 33 in the Missouri Senate. And put all of that together with a person whose focus has always been on the needs of children. Commissioner Esslinger?
Well, thank you, Dr. Serino. If I get behind this, you won't be able to see me, so I'm going to step out here. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, hello. I want to start off by saying thank you so much for your service. This is the month of Board Appreciation, and I can tell you that the paycheck probably doesn't cover, right, all of the work that you all are doing for the babies in this community, right? All right, but thank you so very much. And I want to say to this group, where are those educators? The ones that, the ones we just now celebrated. I'm going to get away from that mic. Could you stand up again? Our educators of the year, we got, I think half of them went home, but here's the thing. You guys all know the importance, the good work that's happening in those classrooms, right? But we also know that the teacher that's next door, the new teacher that shows up down the hall, the people within the district itself also learn and grow and become better at doing what we ask them to do because these people are excelling. So thank you. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Absolutely. So I'm thinking about, do I tell you my life story? Do I just start off with saying, I am the oldest educator in the state of Missouri? I'm serious. Did you read my bio? My goodness. I should stay away from that mic or this mic. All I want you to know is this. We are in this together. We can't do this work by ourselves from the department. You cannot do this work by yourself, board. You cannot do this work by yourself, classroom teachers, building level administrators, people who take care of all the things we need to be able to educate kids. We have to do this work together. These are our children, it's our work, and it is our success. You are doing some fantastic things. You're on the right track. We do notice, we are paying attention, because I want you to know your district leadership is rock star. Okay, yes and true, Dr. Patton is a rock star. We know that. We are really excited about the work that you've got going on. We can't wait to see the results of that work. All I'm saying to you is, the more engagement that we have from the community, the more interest we have in the success of our kids as a whole, we're going to do great in the state of Missouri. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, now we get to showcase what we've been doing in our district. So welcome to the first of 2 presentations that we will do. I am told that we will do another one in June, July, or August. So just plan on that. We will send out all the invitations. As they've already shared, we have to do this twice a year, so we will do it. I do want to talk a little bit about us about Riverview Gardens before we get started. So let me give you just a background. This district has been working hard for the last 3 years to get back to full accreditation. And so I want to thank everybody who's been in this work, everybody who's teamed with us, and most importantly, the building leaders who are really rising to the occasion. And so thank you to our building leaders. If we can give them a big loud round of applause. We have teamed with this organization who's done well with us, Solution Tree. They've been in our buildings for the last 3 years. I want to acknowledge Mr. Ben Tilley, who's sitting back there. Ben, if you will stand and be acknowledged. He is from Solution Tree, and he has teamed with us. This is a celebration. You see some celebrations up on our screen. And then we understand that learning is crucial and is required for our students. Education provides opportunities for our students to break the cycle of poverty, to access better career paths, and to improve their overall quality of life. How many of you can raise your hand and you can see, raise your hand, you can see yourself in these students? If you remember those days, right? We are them, and so we know how important education is. I'm going to talk about, let's go to the next one, just a little overview of Riverview Gardens. We have 1 early childhood building, 9 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high school, and 1 alternative school. We serve approximately 5,400 students and approximately 700 staff, and we serve about 9 different municipalities. 9 different municipalities. So we serve all of Riverview, Belle Fountain, Neighbors, Moline Acres, Castle Point, Glasgow Village, and then portions of Delwood, Ferguson and Jennings, and then unincorporated St. Louis County. Uh-oh. Okay, I need help. Oh, there we go. This is our agenda. We'll talk about, we've already did our opening and DESE comments. I've done the welcome. Thank you all for coming. We'll talk about student achievement, our attendance overview, our demographic studies, resizing the district, what's working and what we're working on, the challenges ahead, and then we will do a community engagement piece. So as we look at our STAR data, you will notice that a lot of our students, when you compare fall early literacy to winter early literacy, you will notice that we are growing. So take a look at this graph, and then the next page will tell you more about it. All kindergarten and first grade students take the early literacy assessments, which measures the mastery of foundational reading. If you'll notice, less of our scholars took the early literacy assessment in the winter than they did in the fall. That's because they met the expectations. Give them a round of applause because they are working hard. Overall, we saw a district increase of 4.8% in proficiency, an increase in proficiency in the following grade levels. Kindergarten by, let me come over here. I can't even see it. I have to be in front of it. Okay. Kindergarten by 4.6% and second grade 12.2%. We've seen a 6.7 decrease in students considered at risk. That equals about 129 scholars who are no longer considered at risk, and our data indicates that our students are making progress and making gains in foundational reading. Of course, we attribute this to all of the hard work that is being done in our buildings by our building leaders, as well as district leadership who's supporting that, as well as Solution Tree who's supporting that. So we are seeing growth across the board, and we are excited about that. When you look at our STAR Renaissance in reading, you see the same things. You see this test is given to 2nd through 12th graders. They are assessed in STAR reading. A comparison of our fall to winter data shows the following. 252 more students were assessed in the winter than in the fall. This increase is attributed to students who qualified to test in STAR reading, as well as increased enrollment. But if you look at the numbers, in the fall, 3 out of 413 students qualified. In the winter, 122 out of 423. That is awesome. And so we are making the moves. Winter, as a district, we increased by 47.5% of our first graders showed mastery in STAR reading. And then if you look down at the bottom, this talks about where we are. From fall to winter, below basic decreased, basic increased, proficient increased, advanced increased. From fall to winter, there was a growth proficient and advanced students across the board from 2nd through 11th grade, and as a district, we saw a 3.6% proficient and advanced. So we are making the move. So all of you all who are working hard in our buildings, you need to give yourself a pat on the back. It is working. Keep working hard. Keep working hard. Moving on to our math, you see some of the same thing. Below basic is decreasing and other areas are increasing. And we saw an increase in our proficient and advanced in first grade and then 3rd through 10th grade. You'll see that on the next slide. It is working. We are doing this. So if any day you walk into a building and you feel like this isn't working, it is working. This information is showing us that. So I'm asking all of our building leaders, keep working hard. Ms. Sharp has led with continuous improvement with Solution Tree. She has organized all of the meetings in the buildings and worked very well with them. And so thank you. And then our building principals are working hard. You know what? Let me acknowledge the teachers in the room. Let me acknowledge our teachers. Give them a round of applause because they are working hard. Now, as we move to our end of course exams, now let me say this is 23 and 24 school year. They are due to start taking the exam again this next month, I believe on April the 7th. We did the comparison to state. We compared ourselves to the state averages. So if you look at our 23-24, 10th grade English 2, you will notice that we are not performing as well as the averages of the state. But we are working hard. I want to show this. This is our 23-24 ninth grade Algebra 1 in comparison to the state. We are below the state comparison or the state averages. When you go to biology, you'll notice the same thing. And then 5th and 8th grade science, you'll notice the same thing. But I do want to share, again, these are 23, 24. Our students are due to take the EOCs starting next month, and we are going to see much better scores. We expect to see much better scores, and we're going to see much better scores. Here are some of the things we've done to try to close this gap. We reviewed our science curriculum and revised our 5th through 8th grade science curriculum. Middle school moved to an integrated standard approach and began using Open Sci-Ed, which provides rich hands-on experiences and opportunities to write and give our students opportunities to write about their experiences. When they're writing about it, they can really tell you about it. That means they have an understanding about it. This is research-based and it aligns with the new science standards. When you look at our high school, I talked to Dr. Smith this morning, and he shared with me all of the things that are happening at the high school to improve what you've seen on the screen. They're improving the PLC process to ensure all essential standards are being tested. They're using the STAR data to drive instruction. They're double dosing in algebra so that we can increase those scores. They have boot camps happening up there, and no, it's not the exercise boot camp, it's the EOC boot camp, and that's happening during the day. Additionally, we are doing test prep after school as well as credit recovery. So we have plans in place. So DESE, you are here, you saw those scores, you'll see better scores the next time around. We guarantee that. So that means it has to happen now. All right. When you look at our graduation rate, you'll notice a comparison between 22, 23, and 24. And you'll notice between 22 and 23, there was a decrease in our graduation rate. But then when you compare 23 to 24, you notice that there is an increase. I will say this, that across the district, across the state, we are seeing a decrease in student enrollment. A lot of our students, when we were out on the pandemic, our school was out for approximately an entire school year. We didn't come back until March of the following year. We left in March of the previous year. So our students got jobs, and it was hard getting them back to school. But if you'll notice, in 2024, we increased our four-year cohort graduation rate, and you will continue to see an increase in that. It is our hope, I said it's our hope, it is our expectation that we will see improvements in student performance on the MAP test as well as the EOC, and those are the dates that those tests are due to be taken. And then DESE has graciously given us an extra week to finish the testing. So thank you for that. I think that, I thought it was that they were being nice to us, but it was really because of the snow days. But we're gonna take that they were being nice to us. Now, let's go to the next slide. This slide gives you a comparison. This is the comparison between August of 23 and February of 24, as well as August of 24 and February of 25. You will notice, and I want to make a point of this, our average daily attendance last year was 36, our average 90-90 was 36.8%. This year is 41.4%. Our average daily attendance last year was 84%, and this year it is 85%. And then you'll notice that there's been a decrease in out-of-school suspensions from slightly over 2,500 to slightly over 1,600. That is a reduction of about 800 and some odd suspensions. That says that our restorative and the things that we've done in our buildings is working. And so we want to continue to decrease our out-of-school suspension rate, but I am very concerned about our attendance. We've done everything that we can. We have 1 million incentives built in to try to get our students to school, and we want our parents to know how important their presence is in our building. So our babies need to be at school. That's how they learn. They can't learn if they're not at school. If they're not learning, they're not performing well academically, and we will continue this cycle. So parents, if you are out there, you're in our audience, or if you're on virtually, please send your babies to school every day. We need to increase our attendance. We need to increase our average daily attendance and decrease the out-of-school suspensions. What is working? So all of the scores that I showed you, keep in mind the EOCs you saw were from last year, not this year. We'll be celebrating those EOCs next year, as well as the MAP assessment. But these are the things that are working. Collaboration with Solution Tree. Our district data dive, so that at the building level, they're doing data dives. They're looking into what's working, what is not working, and then they're building-wide interventions throughout the district. So if you walk into any of our buildings, you look at their schedule, you will notice that they all have building-wide interventions built in. That's the time that that's the time where they pull those students who are struggling and give them extra support. Thank you. You'll also notice effective PLCs and ongoing guiding and effective guiding coalitions and data teams happening within buildings. And then there is an overall commitment with the understanding that our students can do better, and it depends on what we feed into them. It depends on what we feed into them that's going to move them, and it is working. So those are the things, those are the things that are working. And here are some celebrations. We have 2 schools that received the Promising Practices School Award. That is Moline Elementary and Glasgow Elementary School. Can we give them a big loud round of applause? Now, I do want to share with you what that means as we're doing some celebrating. That means, I looked it up a week ago. There are 5 schools in this area, St. Louis area, that got this award. 2 of them are from the same school district. Can anybody guess what school district that is? Riverview Gardens. So it is working. Here's what it takes. It takes this to win this award. Collaborative cultures, data-driven decision-making, a focus on learning, shared leadership, and continuous improvement. 5 in the area got it. 2 schools are from this school district. And let me add more, because I do want to brag about this. Only 2 schools nationwide got this award that serve students that we serve. That is 100% free lunch and a 98% African American population. Moline and Glasgow are the only 2 schools. So if that doesn't deserve a big loud round of applause, that makes a difference. That is hard work. And so they committed to doing this hard work, and it's showing. So thank you to those building leaders. Thank you to the teachers of those buildings. And let me say this, there's more to celebrate. I shared this presentation with the principals today, and one of them called me out. Where is he? All right. Dr. Gerald, he said, we're not showing enough celebration, so let me go over this screen for you. Dr. Gerald, I need your attention on the screen, sir. All right. So beating the odds from the St. Louis University Prime Center, we've gotten all of these awards over the last few years. Beating the odds, top school-wide ELA 22-23. LeMaster's 12th in the state of Missouri. Glasgow 19th in the state of Missouri. Come on, keep that going. Lewis and Clark 25th in the state of Missouri. Moline Acres 28th in the state of Missouri. And Central Middle School 18th in the state of Missouri. How many of you know how many school districts are in Missouri? Over how many? Over 500. Over 500. So don't miss that, over 500. Beating the odds over school-wide mathematics growth in 22-23, LeMaster's 25th in the state of Missouri. Beating the odds, top school-wide, ELA 23-24, Westview Middle, 18th in the state. Oh, and he just corrected me, he said it's 17th. We're going to give him that. We're going to give him that. We're going to give him that. All right, beating the odds, top school-wide mathematics 23-24, Moline Elementary, 2nd in the state of Missouri. LeMaster's 25th in the state of Missouri. And then top school-wide math growth, 6th in the entire state of Missouri, Moline Elementary School. So Dr. Gerald called me out today. We need to celebrate more. They need to know all the work we're doing. And I said, Dr. Gerald, we only have so many slides. We can't put everything. And so they did put everything. So, all right. Going on, what we are working on, we are building a sustainable plan to continue the work that is ending, we are continuing the work with, let me get this right. We are building a sustainability plan to continue the work that we started with Solution Tree. This is our last year with Solution Tree. They've been a great partner with us. Ben says that anytime we call on them, they will be here. So Ben, I need you to say that out loud so we can get that on record. All right, very good. We're continuing to build strong guiding coalitions and data teams at the school level to work towards student improvement. We're continuing to implement intervention blocks to strengthen academic skills. We're continuing to build ways to increase our attendance. Let me tell you, we've done everything that we can, including knock on doors and say, give me your child, please. And we are going to continue to do that. We have incentives. We're giving away bikes. We're giving away cards. We're giving away gift cards, food cards. We need our babies at school. We need our babies at school. We're offering after-school tutoring to assist with struggling students. We recently re-engaged the Community Advisory Council, and we are working together with them. They have, the elected officials showed up at Central Services, and they volunteered to walk through neighborhoods to knock on doors with us. So that we're getting the community involved. We also want, let me go back one, we want to make sure that we're bringing in businesses as well, because the businesses will draw funding. The funding will allow us to give more of an effective education to our students. And so we are working on that as well. We're continuing to improve the turnaround schools. That's Lewis and Clark, Meadows, and Highland, who are also have growth and are showing great growth within their schools as well as within their teachers. We're continuing the work of the Comprehensive School Improvement Program. We're continuing to improve climate and culture. We're working on the MSEP 6 standards, and then we're doing a district-led approach with our instructional coaches, our home-to-school coordinators, counselors, and social workers. So that is the work that's ahead of us. Now, let's go back one. Let's go back. That's what we're working on. We do have some challenges in front of us, and I'm going to talk about that. Recently, earlier this school year, we completed a demographic study. The board ordered a demographic study last year at the suggestion of our previous superintendent. They completed a demographic study, and here are the projections. They are projecting that we will lose anywhere between 800 and 1,000 students over the next 10 years. A part of that study was also the building utilization. So they looked at how our building was being utilized, the space that was being utilized in our building, and we discovered that there is a range. The lowest is 29%. That means we're using 29% of a building. The highest is 82%. So if you think about the projections, if you think about where we're moving, we have an opportunity to possibly close one of our schools. And so we are considering closing one of our schools, I will make a recommendation to the board, and the board will make the decision. That being said, we put out a community survey, and I'm happy to say that over almost 300 of our employees completed the survey, but we only have about 30 completed surveys from our community as well as our parents. So we need to hear your voice. We opened the link back up. We're going to send that out again, and we want to hear your voice. What are your thoughts? I would like to make an informed recommendation to our board, and I can do that with your feedback. So please make sure there are QR codes on the table. If you're in the room, please complete it. If you are with us online, we will put it up online. We want you all to complete the survey. If we close one of our elementary buildings, we can redraw our boundaries to better distribute our population. This also gives us the opportunity to do K2, 3, 5 buildings. Now, everybody in the room that has heard me talk about this, I know my staff knows that I am a foundational kind of girl. We have got to hit them at that foundational level, and that is kindergarten through 2nd grade. We've got to teach them to read, letters, number sense, recognize numbers, letters, sounds, all of that. If we can hit them at that kindergarten through 2nd grade level, if that school was only focused on that, as well as the social emotional piece at that level, we can move those babies on to 3rd through 5th grade, and they will rock 3rd through 5th grade. We will continue to build. As I say all of the time, my staff is probably repeating it in their head, we start building a house at the foundational level. You don't start at the top floor. You pour that basement first. If it doesn't have a basement, you pour that slab, that concrete. That's what we need to start doing with our babies so that we can make sure as they move forward, they are strong, and then 3rd through 5th grade can continue to build, 6th through 8th grade can continue to build, and then they will rock high school. That is our goal. If we close one of our buildings, it gives us that opportunity, but even if we don't, we still have that opportunity. So that's what we are looking to do. Again, families, please complete the surveys because we need your feedback. We also have challenges as it relates to resizing our district. We did a great job over the last 3 years with the ESSER funding, bringing in things that our students needed, extra support with learning loss, extra support with social emotional. When they came back from the pandemic after being out of school for a year, it was emotional. They weren't used to being around people. They weren't used to engaging. And so we did a great job bringing in programs and things that we could do to strengthen them academically. We brought in our restorative to help support them and not just send them home, and it worked. Now we have to look at our budget and say, okay, we have got to remain solvent. What are some of the things we need to do? So on your screen are some of the things we've already started doing. We are now in phase 2, and we will be moving to phase 3. And our goal is to do as much as we can to bring our budget under control without affecting our students. This was our theme at the beginning of the school year. I got caught up at convocation, knowing I can't sing, and broke out singing. I don't know what I was thinking, but you all were gracious enough to clap for me, so thank you for doing that. I know I can't sing, but I will. But Amber's like, please don't. Okay. Our end goal is this. We want our babies graduating. We want our families celebrating. That is our end goal. Our other end goal is this, full accreditation. DESE, raise your hand. You hearing us? All right. This is what we want. Thank you all. Thank you. This is our end goal, and this is what we are working to accomplish. There are some challenges ahead. So besides the financial challenges that I've just shared with you, we also have other challenges: open enrollment, charter schools, school vouchers, our budget, as we talked about, improving our attendance, reducing our suspension. I am petrified about what's happening at the federal level with the dismantling of the Department of Education and what that means for funding for our school district. We have about $13, $14 million that we receive in federal funds. So our hope is that we continue to do that because that's how we feed our students. We are a completely free breakfast and lunch school district, and this is how we do it. There's a prediction of a decrease in student enrollment if you think about the birth rate in this area, which was a result of the demographic study. Our low attendance rate, we have got to improve that. And I'm telling you, I've never seen a district work harder to improve their attendance than this school district is doing. Low community engagement, we need to increase that. I would like this room packed. I would like it to be standing room only. And so we are working to that. And then understanding that our financial constraints are affecting our staffing and morale. It just is, because we are a family. So if you look around and you don't see your family members, that's going to affect you. And so we've got to keep building on what we've done. I do want to, so this is the part where we get to, did I cover everything? Yeah, we did. I feel like I'm missing some pages. I think somebody removed some pages. All right, anyway, we're going to get to the part where it is time for the community engagement piece. And so I reached out. This lady, I call on her. I don't care what time it is. She answers the phone. I don't care if I get her the information she asked for 3 days ago today. She still shows up for me. So let me introduce Ms. Jolena Johnson. She is a graduate of Riverview Gardens School District. She's a 1988 graduate. She was awarded now this was in high school, and I think it fits. She was awarded the most spirited and the bossiest by her graduating class, and then she graduated from Mizzou in 1992. She's an internationally known communication strategist. She is the founder of the Absolute Good Training and Life Skills Management. And more than this, I do want to say this. After all of what I read, and there's a lot that I can read about her, I am most proud that she's a Riverview Gardens graduate, because that says we can do this. I do also want to mention to DESE and the people in the room, last year we had almost over $16 million in scholarships for our babies. Some of them were able to get the Gates Scholarship, which is a 6-year ride. We also got babies into Washington University. So this school does not play. We take care of our kids, and we will continue to do the work that is necessary. Getting back to Ms. Jolena. I call her all of these things, but what I call her is a Riverview Garden supporter. There hasn't been a time when I haven't called on her and she didn't answer the call. Whether it's celebrating our high school football team, providing scholarships for our students, painting doors at the high school, or just coming here and getting through this the community feedback piece, she shows up all of the time. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about her experience in our school district, because I think that seeing our graduates, seeing what they can accomplish really makes a difference. The work we are doing matters. These children need us, and we need to walk in every single day giving 150% to them, because without us, let me tell you, I was one of these babies. I was in Darce Webby Housing Project. I used to have ashy knees and elbows too, right? But somebody took a liking to me. One of my teachers made a difference for me every day, and she made it matter to me. And let me say, I said one of my teachers, she wasn't my teacher, she was a teacher in the building. And she found me every day and said, Tanya, I'm glad you're here. Tanya, I'm glad you're here. Sometimes that's all they need to hear, is that you are happy to see them. They may have left a house that was in trauma, right? But when they walk in our doors, we have the ability and we have a responsibility to make them feel welcomed and wanted there. Babies who feel welcome and wanted will give you the world. I know that because it made a difference for me. So Miss Jolena Johnson, come on up, give them your experience. Please welcome her.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, am I talking to myself? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now she did say I was the most spirited now. Come on, so you know I'm gonna expect some participation. So a few things she didn't say and I wanna acknowledge. I am so proud to be here. And when she called me, I was like, of course. And I'm gonna tell you, I do training and development. I'm also a book publisher, a writing coach, sometimes a ghostwriter. and I have published over 75 books, and I have worked with over 100 authors. I am not telling you that because I'm bragging on myself. I'm telling you that because that has to do with my education in my honors English classes at Riverview Gardens Senior High. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. You see my gray hair. And my brother is also here. He is the president of the Riverview Gardens Alumni Association. Can you stand up? He is also a graduate of Riverview Gardens, and he was the construction manager for Habitat for Humanity, and he's built over 400 homes in the St. Louis metropolitan region. Our shop classes and our home ec classes and things like that made a difference and gave us the skills and the ability and the desire to make a difference. And I think our home training gave us the desire to be respectful, to be encouraged, and to serve. So tonight, I just want to remind you that we are all here to serve. So whether you're a parent, you're here to serve your children. If you're a teacher, you're here to serve our children. If you are on the school board, you are here to serve our children, and we know Dr. Patton is here to serve our children. Do you all agree or disagree?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying all that to say that we need you all. And I don't know why these rates are down. I went to Thomas Elementary. Our school closed. It was right down the street. I can tell you about 1982 when my mom sent me to school and nobody else was on the block. You remember that? Anybody remember that storm? And all the snow was like up to here and I'm the only one on the street walking because she's like, you got to get to school. Miss Johnson was like, Jolena, there's no school. Go back home. I'm like, thank you. Thank goodness it was just in the next block, okay? And I'm saying that to say we all have stories. We have trauma and we have victories. But we need to give our children a chance to do the same. So I want to thank you for your work. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your participation. And I want to thank you for getting to work on what we need tonight. Because she did tell you this was going to be community engagement. And I also have my stop clock going. So you have been given a couple of items on your table. Number one, if you have not completed the survey, there is a stand. Would you mind handing that stand to me? That someone right here. Thank you. This is for the demographic survey study. If you have not filled it out, she said it was about 30 people who filled it out. If you haven't filled it out, I know 300 staff, we need you to fill it out. It's a QR code, all you gotta do is scan it, and everybody has one at your table. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Somebody say, yes, ma'am, I'm getting old. My goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we need that, okay? Number two, you have been given large sheets of chart paper. We're gonna need you to put your table number on the chart paper. So everybody do that now. You should have a writing utensil and you have table numbers, and I'm gonna be expecting something from every single table. I see your tables, I'm gonna call you out now. Okay, so one person should be designated to take notes on the chart paper at each table, please. Even if you are a faculty member, we need you all to get to work too. It's participation. Every table gets to participate. I use the keyword gets to. And you also have a folder, and it has notebook paper. So somebody can take extra notes, and somebody can take notes on the chart paper. Now, you all, this is really important because we're gonna collect this at the end of the night. We're gonna also need someone to be the designated table spokesperson. So the designated table spokesperson will answer the questions and about the discussion that you all have had at your table. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? Does everybody understand what we're going to choose to do? Okay, I'm gonna ask you again. Does everybody understand what we're choosing to do? Only 6 people, okay. You all want the students to do stuff, but what are you all doing? I want you to take a look in the mirror. Okay. So what we're gonna do is, you all have a piece of paper. It says DESE Public Hearing, and it says, we hope the information shared tonight was helpful and informative. Based on tonight's presentation, discuss at your table the following questions. Please identify a note taker and someone to report out. So I just said that, just in a slightly different way. So we're gonna have, if we need to take 5 minutes, we will, but otherwise we'll just take a few minutes per question, and you can write number 1. We'll start with number 1. The first question is about district data. Okay, are there any questions? Because I hear people talking, so does anybody need anything that you do not have? Anybody need anything? Okay, here we go. Question number 1 is about district data. What questions or further clarification is needed related to district data? So she talked a lot about academics, attendance, and suspensions. So write number 1, and then please on your paper, if you have any further questions, write those questions. If you do not have a question, just say no questions. How about that? So we can keep our numbers straight. Okay, and board members, we definitely invite you all to go to the tables and to participate. If your table doesn't have enough, then you can go to another table and participate. I know we have a lot of academics here, a lot of leadership. Are you raising your hand for me? Oh, okay. Board, let's put you to work. Let's go. Let's go. We need you. We need to hear what you all have to say. And if nothing else, board, this is an opportunity for you to interact with people and learn.
Absolutely.
So what questions or further clarification is needed relating to academics, attendance, or suspensions? All right, 1 minute left. Should I walk around and look at your progress? All right, 10 seconds to wrap it up. I love it that you all are collaborating. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to move on to question number 2. Okay, question number 2 has to do, okay, may I have your attention, please? Okay. Regarding the demographic study, what questions or what further clarification is needed related to the demographic study? Reduced enrollment, closing of school, restructuring K through 2nd, and 3rd through 5th. I'm going to say, I took some notes about this, so let me say this, you all. We're going to lose between 800 and 1,000 students, and there were buildings who were only using 29% of the building, up to 82% of the building. So this is part of what this question is about. What are your comments? What are your questions? What are your concerns? Maybe even suggestions, because if Dr. Patton comes or when she comes and says we have to close the school, then people are going to be mad. So what are your comments? What are your thoughts about it? What do you have to say? So this is your opportunity. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and if you need more, I may give you a few more minutes. Please go ahead with question number 2, and you can do little bullet points too. Thank you. All right, you're working so hard. We'll take a couple more minutes to finish. Thank you. All right, 1 minute. All right, does any table need more time or can we move on? Does anyone need more time or can we move on? Okay, another minute. Thank you. Travis. All right, very good. Thank you so much. You all are doing great. Hey, excuse me, give yourselves a round of applause. You know what? Can you imagine if every day you walked out of your bedroom and somebody just started clapping at you? Would that be awesome? Okay, all right. I didn't tell you all I was Pep Club president, did I? All right, very good. All right. Number 3, if you'll put number 3, and if you need an extra piece of paper, you have plenty there. Okay, may I have your attention, please? You all are having a good time. Okay, number 3 has to do with resizing the district. Oh, I don't think I have your attention. Okay, resizing the district. What questions or further clarification is needed relating to resizing the district? Reduced in force, reducing spending, the Department of Education closing, food availability, and concerns. These are all things. So what questions or further clarification do you have regarding these subjects? Please write them down. Thank you so much, and I'll give you about 3 minutes. Okay, I have a point of clarification, if I can have your attention. So one of the issues is, we know what the district serves now, and we know where all this, well, we may or may not know in our heads, but it's clear that they serve different communities. She said there were 7 different communities or municipalities that were served. But you have to think about, if they close a particular school, what will happen with those students? So when it comes to busing, when it comes to education, when it comes to how they're going to get there, those are concerns that you have. So when you think about the ramifications of resizing the district, what are some of the concerns? So yes, we can save money, and what? Hopefully that helps you with your discussion. Thank you. All right, we'll take another minute or so, and then we'll move on. Thank you. All right, everyone, we're going to move on to number 4. If I may have your attention, please. All right, I see some people with their papers filled up. This is awesome. May I have your attention, please? Number 4, how could you, as a stakeholder within the Riverview Garden School District, partner with us? For example, committees, communications, comprehensive school improvement, or parent and community engagement. So maybe what are some things that you'd like to do that could be helpful? Maybe you could engage others. Maybe you could invite your participation. How could you, in terms of committees, be able to do these things, influence these things? What do you recommend in terms of improving student attendance? Something that you could do as a stakeholder to help partner with us to improve student attendance. And finally, what are other contributions you could make to positively impact the district? So for example, you all, she did say I painted doors. That was actually true. They didn't have anybody to paint, and the doors looked horrible in building 1, I believe it was, building 2? It was 2, building 2. In building 2. And I just went and painted, and then I brought another alumni, and we painted the doors. And I really wanted to do more, but we ran out of time. So we painted the outside of the doors. So when you come into a freshly painted door, or a freshly painted room, or a room that's cool and accommodating, it makes a difference. So what could you do with your time, with your resources, with your energy to make a difference for the school district? So what other contributions could you make to positively impact the district? This is a loaded question, and you have plenty of opportunities to answer. So we're going to give you an actual 5 minutes to put as many bullet points down as you can, and we're going to hold you to them. I'm going to take pictures of every single table so I'll know who you are. All right, thank you. All right, 1 minute to finish up. You guys are doing great. We need everything you believe you could do to help partner to make things better. All right, let's wrap that up. 5 seconds, please, and then I would like your attention, please. Dr. Patton is going to come back up. All right. Okay, how many tables do we have? Is it like 15?
LaWanna Macklin? LaWanna?
I see 14 here, so how,
LaWanna?
is 14 our last table?
How many tables do we have?
14. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, everyone, may I have your attention, please? That table over there is having a great time. Yeah, you all. Yeah,
Out of
you know what I
control.
was talking about. Okay, may I have your attention?
5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm going to say it, waterfall.
Oh, that's a new technique. I'm too old to know that one. All right. Okay, everyone, please be quiet, honestly. Okay, so number one, so here's what we'd like to do. We'd like to hear from every table. Excuse me, we'd like to hear from every table. So there are 4 categories, basically, or 4 major questions. So we want to make sure, and we have had some questions online. So let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to try to address all of your questions, but we probably won't get to them all. So if there are questions that are unanswered, that is why we're going to keep the charts, and they will be answered and put in the newsletter so that we can address everything that has occurred, okay? Because we have a limited amount of time. But it's very important that you make everything clear so that we can follow up in that manner. So, number 1, district data. I'm keeping track of the tables. So, what questions or further clarification is needed related to district data? Table 1, 2, 3, oh, we don't have 2. Okay, he's volunteering first.
My question was, is there a possibility for showing star data broken down K through 5, 6 through 8?
Can you start again, please?
Yes. Is there a possibility of showing the star data broken down in groups of K5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12?
And the answer is yes, there is a possibility we can pull that together.
Okay, thank you. All right, did you all have something? Okay, yes.
Question 1 was, what's the discrepancy between attendance and suspension, since we've noticed a decrease?
What is the discrepancy?
So why is there a difference? It's not necessarily discrepancy, right?
How suspensions have gone down, but attendance hasn't risen significantly.
Well, all of the absences aren't due to suspensions. So some of the absences are due to suspensions. Some of them are due to students not being at school. So just because they're, so that's why you see a difference in the number of students. Our suspensions have gone down, I think it was 860, but we still continue to struggle. If it rains, our babies are not at school. If it snows, our babies are not at school. I do understand, and then when you look at our kindergartners is the class with the challenges as it relates to attendance, and that's really because a lot of our parents will say, it's just kindergarten. Well, we did a whole, Ishmael and I did a whole thing on, and I know the proper English, I'm gonna use the incorrect English, but trust me, I know the proper. I always say, it ain't just kindergarten, it's foundation. It's foundation, it's foundation. Kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, that's where they create the foundation. So parents will often think, well, it's kindergarten, first or second grade, no big deal. No, it is a big deal. And so if we can get them at school at those ages, we can build a stronger foundation. So our suspensions aren't necessarily the only thing that affects our attendance. It is our babies being at school consistently.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm Dr. Gerald here at Westview. I do want to take a point of privilege and recognize my teacher of the year. She wasn't in the room when we did that. Miss Levitt, we just give them a little wave offering over there.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. And so we didn't necessarily have a question, but I was pretty similar to Mr. Scheidt, just kind of teasing it apart and going more public with what those numbers when we talk about below basic, and maybe even just educating our community, even when we think about what the impact that it has on our school's APR. You know, when we move a student out of below basic, for example, to basic, you know, it's a difference between 1 and 3 points. You know, so we need you reading with them at home. You know, and then by the time they go from below basic to proficient, it's 4, right? And so we need parents reading with them at home. And so going public and then partnering with families to make sure that they know the path to success, the pathway to success. Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Gerald.
Thank you. Okay, we have, okay, table number 3, go ahead.
Okay, we want to look a little bit more into the data that supports what is happening as a result of truancy reporting. So are we seeing a reduction in attendance concerns based on that support? And then with suspensions, oftentimes when we see the numbers, we don't know if it's a duplicated count. So like, is this all the suspensions, but is the same children that's being suspended? So what is the actual amount of students that's being suspended versus the amount of suspensions? Because sometimes you have repeat offenders.
Okay, so in regards to the truancy reports, we're seeing it in waves. So once we do a truancy report, if it's accepted by the state of Missouri, we will have either a truancy officer come out if it's truancy. If it's educational neglect, then they will send someone out. So it's 2 separate things. One thing that we're finding is the truancy reports work a little bit better. The truancy reports are for our older scholars. Our hotline for educational neglect are for our younger scholars that can't get themselves ready. One thing that we're finding for those hotline calls is it works for a while, right? And then it kind of dips off. And then we'll have to make another report. They'll accept it, it'll work for a while, and then it'll kind of dip off. So what we're finding is that inconsistency with the parental state, and that's why it's kind of ebbing and flowing with that.
Yeah, we had a question that was online as well. One of the questions was, and I'll merge the 2, have the number of fights decreased since last year? And it kind of merges over into maybe the 3rd one. How are we going to sustain the reduction in suspensions if we're losing positions or reducing positions like SEIAs or home to school coordinators?
She asked if Liddell answered the first one.
So yes, so when we looked at Q1, there was a significant decrease. We were very excited about the number of suspensions, right? Q2 was a lot higher than we expected, but it was still under what last year was. We're excited for our numbers for Q3, and we're expecting them to be even greater.
And in answer to the second part of that, what are we doing if we're decreasing staff? That is one of the reasons we're going to a district approach as it relates to our home to school coordinators, instructional coaches, and there was a 3rd one, SEIAs. Sometimes there are issues. Our SEIAs are primarily assigned to our secondary buildings, but we've got a team that will go out if it's needed. They went over to LeMaster's and helped some babies work through the issues they were having. That's one of the reasons we're moving to the district model, is so that we have a district-wide approach and they're just not assigned to certain buildings.
All right, thank you so much. If there is a table that has a burning question that has not already been addressed, could you please stand so that we can get that one on question number 1 before we move on to question number 2, number 2.
I think we got one over here at table number 4.
All right.
Good evening. We had the district data question, and we wanted to know with the attendance, why are students not coming to school? And then the other one was what grade levels are not showing up?
So students are not coming to school for many reasons. Let me say that our district does a phenomenal job with providing anything a baby could need in life to come to school. Clothing, shoes, socks, foods, coats, hats, gloves, laundry. If they need laundry, we have washer and dryers in all of our buildings. We provide everything they can possibly need. One of the things that I'll say is that I think one of the issues, if you drive through our neighborhoods, there are no sidewalks. And that, if it's raining, if it's snowing, if they don't have sidewalks to walk on, parents are concerned about their safety. So that is a real issue. If they live within a mile, they are on buses. But also, they have to walk to a bus stop. I'm sorry, if they live within a mile, they walk to school, but also they have to walk to their bus stop. So oftentimes we see, if it's raining, snowing, if the weather isn't great, those are the days that we see the highest absentee rate in our district. In terms of providing what our babies need, we provide everything they need. We have a great partnership with the Little Bit Foundation. They are here. Give them a round of applause.
Thank you so much.
The Little Bit Foundation takes care of Riverview Gardens. I need them to stand up. Stand up, hurry up. Let's give them, acknowledge them.
All right,
They take
Little Bit
care of
Foundation.
us.
Thank you. Okay. Now, it is 7:50. So, we have questions 2, 3, and 4 that we have not addressed. Or 4 is, how could you, as a stakeholder within Riverview Garden School District, partner with us? So if your table has not participated yet, would you please stand up and say, this addresses 2, 3, or 4, and give us your feedback and or ask your questions. I'm going to start with this one, which is an online question. Do you have, yes, very good.
Yes, so our online question pretty much is, the Father's Walks went so great this year. Can we do a Mother's Walk? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely, we can do a Mother's Walk.
Awesome. That was simple. That's awesome. That's the way I want to hear. Yes. All right. Now, when you ask the question, tell us which category it's coming from. So 2, 3, or 4. If you look, there's a whole bunch of tables over here. Do I need to walk over there? I'm watching you. Let's go. All right. Yes. He's right behind you with the microphone.
Hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Patrick, a teacher in Westview Middle School. Yes. And I would like to ask before that, I'm one of the international teachers from the Philippines, and we love to participate here because we love RGSD. We love our school, especially our children, the kids. So we love to involve in this kind of, meeting that it's very important. And our question for number 3, which is how does it impact the socialization and community?
In resizing the district, how does that impact the socialization and community? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
How does it impact the socialization and community? So here's what I'll say to that. We won't have as many staff members in buildings, and as I stated earlier, we build families in the buildings. Every one of these principal leaders will tell you that their family is in that building. And so losing a family member to resizing the district or to moving them from full-time to part-time, yes, there will be an emotional effect at the building level. I cannot deny that. It's also affecting us district-wide as well with climate and culture, because we're losing people to having to reduce our staff, and then at the building level, they've lost a family member. So I say that what it's doing is it's bringing the morale down in terms of the socialization, but we've got to do as much as we can to keep building that.
Thank you. Is it quick? Okay, go ahead.
Because we have a lot of families with multiple children, so like a family just enrolled, so 2 of them would be going to this school, 1 would be going to that school. How does that impact the socialization? And if I'm going to a non-neighborhood school, how does that impact who I play with?
Are you referring to
If you're going K2, 3, 5.
Okay, so okay. So that relates to our demographic study. Okay. So in terms of how in my opinion, having had that experience for 20 years in the school district that I was in, it worked wonderfully. We could focus, as I said, on the foundational level, but we could also focus on the social-emotional at that level for K2, 3, 5 student, or K2 students and then 3, 5 students. So I think it helps with the socialization, actually. I think it helped that we can get those foundational skills social-emotionally. They move to the 3rd through 5th grade level. We continue to build on that. And in my experience, there hasn't been a negative effect to it. The biggest effect that I can see from our district is some of our older babies are responsible for our younger ones, right? And so that will create an issue, and that's why we need the feedback from our community, though. That's why we're asking for their feedback, because I was responsible for my little brother and sister. I had to walk them to school. But if I'm going to a different building and they're going to the K2 building, that will create a difference. Now, in terms of them riding the bus, they'll all be on the bus at the same time, so that won't affect that. But it's the walkers that we will need to address in terms of socialization.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. 2 over here, okay. 2 questions or 1 question from table 14? Awesome, okay.
Okay, table 14. Question 3, this pertains to question 3. What are the benefits of resizing, and how will the changes be communicated to all stakeholders, including like continuous changes and continuous feedback?
The benefits of the resizing our district will mean that we get our budgets and our spending under control, and so we need to do that. Right now, we are spending more than we are taking in, so that would be the benefit. The second part to that, Dr. Blackwell? The changes have been communicated. I visited every single building to talk about the fact that we had to cut our budget. I talked to all 13 buildings I went to and I visited. It's also been in our newsletter. I've shared it with the board. We will do a better job of it. Let me say this. This is our first time going through a resizing. So I'm learning this process as I go. So I'm asking for your grace in this. I'm learning this process as I go. I am 8 months into the position, and I'm working with my team. And let me shout out my team, because they have been awesome in this. So give them a round of applause, please. So, Dr. Blackwell, we will continue to communicate this. We will prepare our building leaders first, because if someone in your building is being impacted, you need to know so that you can support them. So we made that mistake once. I told you all this morning, that mistake won't be made again. We learn from those mistakes and we grow. So trust and believe that you all will be very well informed, as well as the people that are being directly impacted by it.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. Because time is an issue, we're going to still get to you. If there is something else that has not been addressed, use the pad of paper also to write your concerns, please, in addition to the chart paper. So we're going to go here, then we'll go to number 3. And this is DESE's meeting, so we have to be respectful of the time, okay, with your answers and your responses. Thank you.
Okay, so ours was for question number 3. And ultimately, the group wanted to know what other, or have we looked at what the other potential financial impacts of resizing the district will be? For example, will this possibly affect activities for students, additional costs for students and their families, the quality of meals that we may be serving? And the other one under that umbrella is like is this going to potentially affect the class sizes and student-teacher ratio?
So the first part of that, Ms. Linda, is, tell me the first part. What was the first question?
The other financial impacts, so.
In
for
terms of
example,
student activities. So the impact so far hasn't impacted any of our students, and our goal is to make sure that it doesn't. That's why we looked at every possible thing before we ever get to impacting our students. That will absolutely be a last resort, and I'm going to do all that I can to make sure that doesn't happen. In terms of teachers, we still have a teacher shortage. So I'm not really concerned about the class size, because we still have how many teacher vacancies? 54 that are filled with subs. So in terms of teacher class size, I'm not really that concerned with it. And what was the other one?
That was it, just, it was about, will this impact, so if we are having a reducing force, then will classroom sizes increase in the
Right.
student-teacher ratio?
So far, no, because this is not impacting teachers so far. Our goal is that whatever budget reductions we make, that we are making sure that our students being impacted is the last resort. But if you're asking me, will this impact our district? Sure, it will. It will. Anytime you do a reduction, it impacts our building. But in terms of class size and student activities, not yet.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. And then we have one more it is 7:59. Thank you.
This is number 4. It's about attendance. If we are having attendance issues, why have late start Wednesdays? Instead, maybe have a full day of PD once or twice a month instead of those late start Wednesdays?
That's something we are right now, I'm looking at Valerie. I wonder where that came from.
Somebody's guilty. We
That
see it on
wasn't,
your face.
that wasn't you? That wasn't you? Okay. All right. So you asked about late start Wednesdays. Late start Wednesdays are used for our professional development. Professional development in this district is working. I just showed you all of these scores that show that we are doing well. Are we looking at other things we can do to help support our teachers? Absolutely. But I can't give you a definite answer. I'm looking at you, but I should be looking over here. I can't give you a definite answer to that. I'm looking at Kim Nay and Valerie and the whole crew. So I don't have an answer for that. All I can say is we will continue to do professional development. We will continue to focus on the growth of our students, because that's what's going to get us back to full accreditation. Why not a full day instead of late start? We'll talk about that. We did discussions on working conditions, I believe, last year, but we're open to having discussions further. Okay.
All right. So you all have done so much work that we've run out of time. So I want to say thank you so much for your dedication, your hard work, your commitment, and your cooperation to put this information together. And we really do want to keep these pieces. So please have them presentable so that we can take them and put them all together and they can be addressed. Also, I want to thank you for the opportunity to share and to participate in this activity with you. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be here. I also want to say congratulations to the board since it's Board Appreciation Month. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to Dr. Patton. In 8 months, her heart, her hard work, and her commitment to team is really shining through. So let's give her a round of applause, please. Thank you. And you can keep on calling me.
All right, can we give Ms. Jolena Johnson a big, loud round of applause for doing this for us? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every time I call, she comes, and so I want to say thank you to her. I also do want to thank, very quickly, we had a couple Fridays ago, I think it's been 2 Fridays ago, there was a fire in Bellefontaine. Neighbors, I think about 14 or 15 homes were affected. I do want to shout out and thank our North County Fire and Rescue District for the work that they did to make sure that our families were taken care of. I also want to thank the Bellefontaine mayor. They opened up the rec center to support those families. So I cannot go without saying that. We're going to collect all of the paperwork. Lisa, they keep pointing to you like I've forgotten you. I see you. I see you. We're going to collect all of the paperwork. Leave it on your table. Make sure you don't walk out of here without taking snacks with you, and then I'll turn it back over to DESE.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Jolena Johnson. Great conversation here this evening. Especially thank you to each and every one of you who were here this evening to participate. Great community engagement, and what we always like to hear, you're dealing with difficult issues, but you're also dealing with momentum and positive change, and you're talking about what you need to do that's going to have that positive impact on the children. And so all we can do is encourage you and thank you for that work. Thank you again to Westview Middle School for hosting us, and Dr. Patton and your leadership team. This hearing is adjourned.
All right, thank you for coming. Ms. Sharp, you grab a mic from somebody, Ms. Sharp.
Want to acknowledge a couple of the Teacher of the Year who came in a little bit late. And so we have Miss Karen Wright, Gibson Elementary School. I thought I saw Mr. Nowden come in. He had to leave, but he also came in. So just want to acknowledge them as well. Were there any others that came in and I didn't mention you? Thank you. Thank you,